what a start to the new year. Superb test match cricket. The India South Africa series tied at 1-all. Let's talk all about the third test match here at Timeout with SportsAdda.
That prediction was not right, Akhil. That prediction was not right.
What a comeback from South Africa. I mean, ultimately, as Indian cricket fans, we want the team to do well, Arun. But I want to see some competitive cricket, and I'm happy that South Africa stood up and offered a beautiful test match to watch. Hats off to Dean Elgar. Like he's produced something very courageous to come back into a series like that. Hats off.
A lot of modern day Test cricket watchers will talk about flair, will talk about boundaries, will talk about strokes, will talk about how beautiful that crisp but cover drive was. But gone are the times of people talking about grit, determination, bravery, courage. We saw that in the Ashes. If you've been following English media, everybody's talking about England's resilience, the grit, the courage they showed, determination, all those words. But all of that put together was in the Dean Elgar innings.
Hmm. And I mean, it came from a look at the situation. Also, it came against one of the top attacks on the fourth day on a fourth innings chase. Very reminiscent of Graham Smith for me. I mean, Graham Smith's fourth innings record is just unbelievable. Uh,
Yeah.
four hundreds chasing in a fourth innings, and Dean Elgar produced. I was hoping he actually gets to 100, Arun. I mean, even as an Indian cricket fan, 100 would have been a real special one.
It would have been nice, but then 100 would have just been another number. Not getting 100 gives us an opportunity to talk, not just today, but in a few years from now, we'll still talk about that 96 or 97. Right?
Hmm.
If he had got that 100, it would have just been another 100, and won't remember. But this knock we'll remember for years and years to come
It's like that Vishwanath 96 or 97 people
against the
talk
West
about in
Indies.
Chennai. Yeah. Okay. So before we talk about the third test match, the crucial third test match, Arun, like we do at Timeout with SportsAdda, we are offering our listeners a chance to win a beautiful prize, a smartphone like we had last time. So we have another contest question coming up. Again, I'm just telling you, you don't have to give an answer because I'm sure you know this answer, but you just have to give a hint which our listeners can use and answer. So the simple question for today is that which Indian bowler has picked up the best figures at Cape Town? Very simple question. Arun, you want to give a hint?
Uh, if I give a hint, people can just quickly identify.
Okay,
I give a
okay. So it's a
difficult hint.
simple one.
I'll give you a difficult hint. He's acted in a movie about friendship.
Okay,
This
okay, cool. So
person
that's a
who's picked up, who's got the best figures amongst Indian bowlers at Cape Town, is acted in a movie called Friendship.
okay. So Arun has given a simple hint here. If you want to win a smartphone, then please go onto our YouTube channel, like this video, and put in your answers in the comment section. And like we have been announcing a few winners who've been lucky enough to win some prizes. We'll continue with that simple contest question related to the third test match venue, Cape Town. Uh, that's what the question was. Okay, Arun, 1-all series poised beautifully. Uh, Virat Kohli expected to come back for the test match, which is going to be very crucial, not just in terms of batting, but I felt even in terms of captaincy, there was that crucial 0.5% missing in terms of aggression, in terms of proactiveness, in terms of taking initiative when the South African team could have collapsed. So that will be a good sign for Indian cricket.
Virat Kohli, welcome back to the Indian team. Yes, he was missed, but I'm not sure if he would have made a difference to India winning that Test match. Just his captaincy, as a
Sure.
batsman, he probably could have contributed, may have contributed. We don't know, but like you said, I don't know how much his captaincy would have had an impact on the eventual outcome of the Test match. Uh, it's the same bowling attack, right? Yes, KL Rahul possibly got a few things wrong, a few bowling combinations wrong. But hey, first Test match as captain, uh, and the bowlers were asking questions. No matter what happened, the Indian pacers were asking the questions. You got to give credit to South Africa. They braved it out, they gutsed it out, and they deserve that win. But welcome
Hmm.
signs that Virat Kohli is available and comes back to the Indian level. The question is now, who goes out?
Hmm. Who goes out? Hanuma Vihari batted beautifully in the second innings. He was unfortunate to have been dismissed in the first inning also, actually. He got off to a good start there. So, unfortunately, looks like Hanuma Vihari will have to make way again. Unless, Arun, and you had made this point, I remember in the preview for the second test match, spinner's role in Johannesburg you had spoken about. And I just did a base calculation before we came onto this show. Ashwin bowled some 20-22 overs for the Indian team, and that too happened because Siraj got injured. And the spinner on the South African side, Keshav Maharaj, bowled just 2 overs, Arun. Just
Correct.
2 overs in the entire test match. So you were spot on saying that spinners at Johannesburg were not did not will not get too many chances. So Cape
And the
Town also offers a
one
lot of
wicket that
assistance for
Ashwin
the
picked up,
swing
sorry,
bowlers.
sorry,
So
Akhil, the one wicket that Ashwin picked up was also, in the fourth innings, it was Keegan Peterson. That's the only wicket I think he picked
yeah,
up in the entire test match. So he's got very
yes,
little to do. So as a spinner, he's got very little to do, and the conditions in Cape Town will be similar.
yeah,
Maybe it won't be as lopsided as Johannesburg, as the Wanderers, but it'll still be seamer friendly in Cape Town. And you don't know what happens, when those clouds fly in from the Table Mountains. There will be spells when the cloud just drifts in from the Table Mountains, and the wall will start to do all kind of things. So
yeah,
again, a question mark over Ashwin. I mean, I know where you're getting to. You're saying Vihari continues to play ahead of Ashwin. Is that where you're coming to?
yeah. That's the point I was making, and a couple of that's exactly the point I was making. In couple of our listeners also made a comment in the comment section in our last preview, Arun, where they said that maybe a Vihari can bat at number six, bowl a few overs just to give the seamers a rest, and then you can still play your arsenal of the quicks.
But you know what's happened here, Akhil? You've also got to recall that Ashwin scored 46 in that first innings. Crucial 46 in the first innings. So the team management are now in a bit of a quandary. They don't know. Uh, I don't know. I don't
Yes,
want to
very
be in
important
Rahul
runs.
Dravid's situation. I really don't want to be in Rahul Dravid or Virat Kohli's situation. But yeah, Vihari. If you want to play on, keep on
Yeah.
Vihari in the 11th. Then Ashwin's the only other guy who can go out.
Hmm. Also, the other key important decision they'll have to make is who replaces Siraj. So will it be Ishant Sharma, who's had a lot of Test matches in South Africa, but he's not played for a while, or will it be Umesh Yadav? Again, he's been in and out from the team, not regularly getting matches, so not enough match practice under his belt. So who will it be to replace Siraj? Will be another key question.
I'm leaning towards Ishan Sharma. I think since I spoke about cloud cover, sorry, I think Ishan Sharma for me. He can get the ball to move around a bit, especially if
Hmm.
the conditions are offer something. So I'm leaning towards Ishan. Though Umesh has done nothing wrong. Both of them, like you said, have had little match practice, but Ishant, just because he's been there, he's played, he understands the conditions better. And you need a senior pacer. So I'm leaning towards Ishant.
Hmm. Arun, I had like written down and I was going to talk about it. There's so much talk about this middle order and the runs and the hundreds. There's one of my favorite stories, from Steve Waugh's book, where he talks about the 1995 crucial test match, the fourth test match against West Indies. Again, series was tied at 1-1. And Bob Simpson, the Australian coach, had a meeting with the batters before the match, Arun, and he said that you guys are not scoring big hundreds. You guys are not taking ahead the responsibility and cracking a big hundred, which can just get you the match in one go. And Steve Waugh said, I was disagreeing with him, saying that there are four quick bowlers coming at us. It's been a difficult track. And they had a minor disagreement. But then when he went back and he later thought about it, he said that, okay, we've been preparing so well. This is exactly the challenge of Test cricket that we've all been preparing for. So I should take it as an opportunity. And he went and scored 200, which is his career best score. And
Correct.
I look at this situation as being very close to that, Arun, even though the bowlers are not as menacing as Walsh and an Ambrose or the Benjamins, but it's a very tough attack, tough pitch. So all the three experienced Indian middle order batsmen have to take this as an opportunity. One big 100 there.
You should include Rishabh Pant as well. So make it four. But yeah, I mean, look, there's no question mark over ability, Akhil. You shouldn't be there shouldn't be question marks at all. But it's not a question of ability anymore. They wouldn't have played all
Or
these
the
years
intent
with
also.
correct ability or intent. It's a question of form, and form is like like Navjot Singh Sidhu would say, form is like mistresses. Would he say? Whatever. I mean, I can't recall that line, but form can be crooked. This is sport. This is life, right? You make mistakes, things happen. You've got the opportunity to fix it again. There's a second innings, there's a second test. And I hope all these four batsmen are looking at it that way. They all have what is needed to go score runs. And don't be surprised, Akhil, if we see that 100, that elusive 100 in Cape Town. We
Looking
remember we've
forward to
got
that.
some fond memories of hundreds there. Sachin and Azhar back in those days. So I'm sure we'll get to see one more
For
of
a
those fabulous.
partnership, yeah. Pujara and Ajinkya actually gave us a glimpse of that partnership in the second Test match. The way that they were attacking the fast bowlers, it was almost half of the runs that Sachin and Azhar had scored, but the impetus and the momentum and the stroke making was similar to what was happening. So
Intent
yeah,
was
looking
there.
forward
More
to
than anything, intent was there.
intent was there. Agreed, absolutely. Okay, so South African squad, they've managed to win a test match against a top team after a while. So South Africa also will want to make some changes. Keshav Maharaj, do you think he has a role, Arun? I mean, he was bowling 2 overs in a test match. Rather have another batter coming in.
There's the option, but I think what's also influenced selection of a spinner these days is that 1 point or 2 points for slow over rate, Akhil. I
Overrated.
think captains will want now to have that luxury of one spinner. Keshav Maharaj is not a bad bowler. He's not a bad player. He can contribute runs like we saw in the previous test, and he can rush through his overs, right? So they will continue to play him, I suspect. Uh, but it's not for cricketing reasons. It's not because he's going to buy you wickets. It's not because he's going to get you 50s or 60s or 100s. It's because it just lends to the balance of the team. And if it comes to a situation where they have to make up overs, he's your man to go to.
Hmm. That's good. I mean, their middle order also not too experienced, but all of them showed some real grit, Arun.
It- I'm just looking at that last innings, Akhil. The fourth innings at Wanderers. 96 Elgar, Aiden Markram 31, Keegan Peterson 28, Rassi Vanderdusen 40, Temba Bavuma 23 not out. So everybody's chipped in with runs. You know, and if that's working for the team, that's working for the team. They've just won a test match. So I don't know if they want to tinker too much. I think my expectation is they will continue with the same lineup. Here's something I
Hmm.
also want to say, Akhil. Uh, we've seen a trend. Uh, we spoke about Centurion being one kind of a fortress for South Africa. India breached that. Johannesburg was a fortress for India where we never lost. South Africa breached
Good point.
that. Now, Cape Town, it's a place where India has never won. We've had draws, we've lost test matches. Will we breach it again? Will we see a third breach in the series?
Us are hoping will happen. I frankly want to see a good test match. It's a beautiful venue, probably the prettiest venue in world cricket, with the Table Mountain in the backdrop, and you can just sit and watch the cricket and enjoy the beauty. So it's a beautiful stadium. I know the Indian cricket players love playing there. Also, the journalists love going there and covering the games. So it's a beautiful, apt venue. Uh, Couldn't be a better venue to win a Test series for India in South Africa. Just as a gift for the
I'll give
new
Indian
coach,
fans
maybe.
some more hope, Akhil. Sorry, I'll give Indian fans some more hope. I was just looking at uh, India's results in series deciders in the last few instances. We won them all. I went back to 2010. I remember 2015 in Sri Lanka. Uh, so India has won those crucial deciders, and I think that trend will continue. Like I said, too many things pointing to an Indian win. If the trend of breaching fortresses continues, India win. If the trend of India winning deciders continues, India win. Yeah, I think India win this.
And the question again for today is that which Indian bowler has picked up the best bowling figures at Cape Town? So simple question. Arun has already given a hint there. So that's the contest question
Recently
for
retired.
this Test
I'll
match.
give you one more. Recently retired.
That's too much of a hint. That's too much of a hint. So, I mean, Arun is being very generous. Uh, for a mobile phone, for a smartphone, you have to work hard and like check the question out again and comment in our YouTube section. So predictions, Arun. Firstly, who's going to win the Test match? Series tied at 1-1. It can't be a draw. So who's going to
India win the test. Like I mentioned, India win. India takes the series to one. It won't be easy, but India win.
KL Rahul has scored the only century in this series, which has been dominated by the bowlers. So you think you pick one batter who you think will get a century here.
Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli, Arun is speaking. I'm also picking Arun, saying that Jasprit Bumrah might do something special.
I was coming to
That's
him.
this is a
Bumrah.
place. Yeah, this is the place where he's made his Test debut. The last series where he was thrown into the deep end, first Test match. So Bumrah coming back to the place where he's made his debut. He's posted a lovely image on his social media yesterday about coming back to Cape Town. So very nice, heartwarming image that. Okay, so I'm saying Bumrah will be the key impact here. He'll also be gunning to go and bowl. Didn't pick up too many wickets as per expectation in the second Test match, so he'll want to prove a point. Okay, great. So that's it from our end, Arun. Um Hopefully, should be a good contest, and there's so much cricket happening. The ODI series is going to happen very soon, so we'll be back here at Timeout with Sports Adda. Lots of contests, lots of discussions, and lots of chatter about cricket coming up. Thank you so much.